So we have an unexpected pleasure to have our brother OG Danny in the building. You know, you have some perspective on our brother Lou that a lot of people do not have, like especially people who might be watching this. And so we were able to convince you to come on camera and kind of share some of those perspectives, man. If you would, you know what I mean? Bless the people, bro.
No questions. This is one of my childhood friends. Like, we go way back. Matter of fact, you know, when I first met him, he was in junior high school. What was that, 136?
Yeah.
We was in 136, and it was another one of us, God bless the dead, our man Bo. He not here no more. And I knew Bo, but I didn't know Lou. And Bo was in my class. So this the type of dude he is, right? He told Bo, he said, Joe, you got this dude in your class, you're gonna have to fuck him up. He think he tough. But Bo told him, nah, that's my man, la-da-da. So, you know, Bo wound up telling me that, and then I wound up meeting him. And, you know, we just been solid ever since then, you know.
What made you say that, Lou?
It's just that, you know, back then, I had already knew. I mean, I had already met him through, you know what I'm saying, through a vision. That one day I was gambling on 142nd and 7th Avenue, and he used to be with this dude named Vic. You know what I'm saying? And Vic was like the bully of the neighborhood, and I had ran into Vic before over Bootney. You know what I'm saying? He had black Bootney eye before. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So Vic was older than me, but, you know, he was like, you know, a rival. Like, I knew, like, yo, look, you know, I know any day this nigga he come, you know, I'm gonna have to be ready for him. I'm gonna have to stab him, shoot him, or fight him once. But he was, you know, he had a little size on him. And the only person that he was respecting was like Tony Rome, Skip, and dudes like that, you know, dudes as his peers, you know what I'm trying to say? But I remember him being with him. So I was like, the whole attitude was like, I was like, yeah, okay, if he be with him, I already know what it is. So when he was in the class, I was like, yo, Bo, that's the, you know, this is the dude, such and such and such. He used to be with the dude Vic. So you probably got to fuck him up. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Yeah.
Off rip.
Yeah. It's just so ironic that, you know, back then, I was on my shit, like he said. You know, I was under Black Vic. He used to be like a stick-up kid, take niggas' money. He was young. We thought he was older, but he was 21 when he died. He got killed in the Polo Grounds by the police.
Oh, yeah.
He was on the elevator talking to a girl. Police officer told him, yo, let the elevator go. He pulled out on him, you know, young, like, yo, wait, la-da-da-da. Didn't know it was undercover cop. Doors closed, cop got off next floor, came down, killed him. But, you know, anyway, I met Lou through that experience. And I was on that type of time at a young age, bullying, taking people money, kids' money. And I remember we first started hanging out, and I was with him and Bo, and I seen this guy, I used to take his money all the time, right? So he was a big dude, big, tall dude. He was mad big. And I shook him. I took him in the building, made him jump up and down, see if he had change in his pocket. I could hear it, you know, little shit like that. And Lou was just looking at me like, yo, you taking that big nigga money? And from that day on, I really think that kind of sparked something, because he really wasn't on that type of time then. When we was young, it was more like I was. And, you know, it just reminded me of back then when we was little. Another situation, because, you know, people don't know. Like he said, he's a real jokester. Be like, he's a funny dude. You know, he liked to joke and crack jokes and have fun. So it was another time, though, we used to play hooky from school. Back then, remember everybody used to go down to Times Square, but we used to sneak in the movies. And I was the specialist.
Flicks, baby.
Yeah, what? I was a specialist. We'd get some weed, go downtown, sneak in the movies.
Go to Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, so one
rice,
time,
chicken.
we go up on this joint, we had to go across the roof to sneak in, right? This nigga, B, I'm all leading the way. I'm like, yo, come on, it's this way. I'm showing them how to get there, right? I opens the door that goes out on the roof, and 3 big-ass dogs, they put these dogs up there this day, because I guess they got tired of people, I don't know. Yo, these 3 big-ass dogs just jumped out and jumped on me, right? So I'm like, oh shit. I try to go back out the door. This nigga slammed the door and I was stuck on the roof with the dogs. See, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Yo, see, he laughing, but yo, I wanted to kill this nigga. Yo, I'm just glad the dogs was mutts. Cause I kind of stood there, you know what I mean? And they just jumped on me and shit. He waiting to hear them niggas shake me and shit, but they just jumped on me and was playing. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, yo, open the door. Let me in, B. He was like, it took him a minute, but then he let me in. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is you doing? Why you gotta close the door? So he's just a funny dude. Like, we got mad history like that. You know what I mean? And you know, like I said, a lot of people, you know, they look at him as this type of, you know, non-approachable, or this guy that's just so threatening and frightening. But if you know him, like, a lot of people might not get to know him like that. I'm quite sure dudes that he was in prison with, spent a lot of time with under them conditions. If you ever did and you got to know him, you would know he's one of the best friends you can have. Like, he really go all and beyond. He go all out for you as a friend. When I did my first little time, nobody never sent me nothing. I'll never forget it. I did a year in Tryon. We was young. You know, that youth shit. Only dude sent me some sneakers was him. And that shit just stuck with me. You know what I mean? So when he did his bid, you know, I felt obligated to try to be there for him and shit. But it was a long stretch. You know what I mean? When you lose a friendship or a friend to the system like that, and they facing all this time, I'm like, damn, I'm hearing he getting life, death penalties and all this shit, and I'm just thinking, damn, I might not never see my man again. You know what I mean? But it was just a blessing how things turned out, you know? And I just want to also say this too, to everybody in Harlem, everybody everywhere, that my man might have harmed or did whatever to. We was young. We all was young. We all did shit when we was young that we wouldn't do today. You know what I mean? And I just want to state the fact that my man, he did his time. He served his time for a lot of that shit. All that shit he did, sat in that prison in the hole, dealing with them situations for years and years and years, bro. He deserved a fresh start. And I'm just so proud of my bro, you know, because, you know, I told him before he came home, if you come home on that bullshit, I'm not gonna fuck with you. Like, I'm just on some different shit. We not doing that. And he surprised me, B. He came home. I've had incidents recently, and I'm like, I might have to, you know, get on my bag. And I talked to my bro. I had to get his advice. And you'd be surprised, bro. He said the opposite of what I thought he would have said. He told me, you can't do that, bro. You gonna wind up in jail. They gonna it's over. You gotta figure this shit out. It's another way. You ain't got to prove nothing to nobody. Them days is over. Like, I needed that, bro. And I'm just like so honored to have my bro there to tell me the right thing, not just, you know what I'm saying? Because that's the change. That's the process of his evolution. Fact. He evolved. And he's such a better man now to the day. Like, when I sat here and heard him say dudes that told on him, and like, I'm still on my I don't fuck with him. He's a rat. I don't like being around him. You know what I mean? That's one of the codes we always carry. We don't like that shit. Nobody do, really. But when I sit with my bro and he like, yo, niggas told, they did what they had to do. I'm not even, you know what I mean? I'm just moving on with my life right now. So I just want everybody to know my brother changed for the better. He evolved and he became much more of a legend. You know what I'm saying?
Facts,
a real legend now. You know, it takes a man to experience certain things to make him a real legend. Like, you can't just say that you're a legend and you ain't do nothing to earn them stripes.
If you did, you don't say it.
Homie, I've been out here, and I thank God and Allah that I've been blessed. I didn't have to do all that time. I didn't do all that time. I've been out here all my life mostly. I might have served a year or two here and there, like when I was in the youth or whatever, but I've been fortunate. But being, out here, all my homies that went to jail used to come back and tell me all these stories about my man. And I'm saying to myself, you don't hear too much about dudes when they go to jail. A lot of dudes are strong in the streets, and then when they go to jail, they not strong.
Facts, that's right.
Yo, my man was stronger in the jails than I think he was in the streets. Because every time somebody came from the penitentiary, they talking about Lou. So that's like, he don't like talking about himself. He the type of brother, he humble, and it's always best to let somebody else tell a story so it don't seem like you fronting, you bragging, shit like that.